Right, just a quick one on the fading summer borders. Some are looking better than others. Hostas particularly look a bit messy this time of year. The insect damage that took its toll and are starting to yellow out, starting to look scruffy, not looking good at all. But I'm a big believer in leaving things, letting them die back naturally. Any goodness goes back into the roots and makes it a little bit stronger for next year. So I mean, if I was fussy, I would cut that back and tidy up the area, but like I say, I let nature take its course, so we're going to leave that as it is. A lot of things are starting to look a bit tired now, but some areas are still looking nice. We've got the sort of border here which is still, we've still got dahlias coming out, albeit blown over by the wind. So we've got a few dahlias there. We've still got a couple of nice dahlias up here. So we've still got some flower, some colour, and we've still got a bit of interest. The Tetrapanax is still looking good, wanting to flower. They always tend to flower a bit too late and not quite manage to get the seeds, but there you go. A couple of things I'm not going to be digging up and protecting this year. I have dug up a few of my dwarf Cavendish bananas, but I am going to leave a few to die because I ain't got space for everything. So we've got a couple smaller ones which I thought, now I'm not expecting them to pull through whatsoever. They are going to die, there's no doubt about that. What else we got? Iracine, which never really does well for me. I've took cuttings and overwintered them for the last couple of years, and every year it just seems a little bit disappointing. Even though it's a nice sort of pop of colour, I just can't be bothered with it. So that's going to be left to die. I have got I don't know if anyone's been watching the channel for a while, but beginning of the year I bought a coconut sized Edo from a Asian food shop, expecting to get huge elephant ears out of it, and that really didn't come to much. It's very small leaves, so I'm not going to dig that up and do anything with it. I'll leave that in the ground. If it comes back next year, it does. If it doesn't, then no big deal. So yeah, it is a balancing act. Basically just the stuff that you're not too fussed about. I am limited for space, I'm sure a lot of you are. You can't protect everything. Another thing, which when I bought it I was fully intending to protect, or probably dig up and keep over winter, but I'm now going to leave in situ, is the palm grass. So this has done quite well this year. This was brought early this year as a small clump, if you like. It's got to a decent size, and I do like the leaves on it. It does give a bit of a different look to any other grass. It does look like a nice pleated palm tree leaf. We've actually got some seeds on there, whether I might dry them out and see if I can do something with them next year. But what I'm planning to do with this is, it's not supposed to be hardy, but what I am going to do is I'll probably tie the clump up and get a bit of fleece over it and mulch around the bottom, and we'll see what happens with that. So that's going to be a bit of an experiment. Yeah, so like I say, I'm not going to go mad protecting everything in the ground that I should really be lifting. That's going to take its chances. Some things will die and not make it. Some things might surprise you. I do leave the Colocasia esculente in the ground, and they always seem to come back for me. This one I recently moved, so it's already started to die off. But again, that'll be staying in the ground. What else we got? Yeah, I've got quite a lot of Colocasias, which I'm not going to bother protecting, you know, if they're in the ground, they'll take their chances. Like I say, 9 times out of 10 they always come back to me anyway, so I'm not too concerned about them. Quick update on the Cordyline. I think this is Pink Passion, which we dug up at the beginning of the year, potted up, dropped all its leaves, started to grow back with the funky foliage, with the really curly whirly leaves. And as soon as it started growing new straight leaves, we I don't know, maybe a couple of months ago got it in the ground, and so hopefully that should be okay and do a bit better next year. Give us a little pop of colour there. I thought I'd brought all my house plants in, but walking through the garden this morning, even though it's raining, I did notice that I'd forgot. I've got a little Cordyline Fruticosa there, which I don't know why I planted it there, because it's pretty much the same colour as the Cordyline Superstar, similar sort of glossy deep burgundy leaves, but this is just a little one that I say we a lot, I mean that's like the royal we, I mean what I got from Morrison's early in the year. I think it was about £1 reduced, and I chucked it in the ground, and that's sort of been doing alright. So what I might do with this is I'm not going to bother digging it up, that's only £1, so what I'm going to do is put a cloche over it and see if that survives the winter. So there's another little experiment for you. And then before this goes on too long, I might just give you an update on the Schefflera Taiwaniana that I brought in, what was it, end of May I brought this one. So it's about 1 foot tall, and it is well over 2 foot now. It's been pumping out loads of growth, doing well. The yellow leaves you're seeing are not the Schefflera itself, it's a Solomon seal behind, which is starting to yellow out. So yeah, the Schefflera has actually done quite well. So this was potted in a shady area all summer, and now the sun's sort of shifted and it's not quite as strong as it was in the summer. I've got it in a more open area, so it's been getting a bit more sunlight, but albeit not as strong as the sort of summer sun. So the idea is I will protect this one, because again this may well have been greenhouse grown through the winters, so it's probably not actually been exposed to a full winter. So again, if you've got a plant, you don't know where it's coming from, even though it should be hardy, if it's been brought up its whole life protected and sort of mollycoddled, then you need to take steps just to get it through that first winter, just to get it used to more harsh environment. So what I'm planning to do with this one is I've literally got an old small sort of frame racking from one of these sort of cheapy greenhouses. So I'm going to put that over it and just put a plastic bag over it. And you might say, oh, that sounds a bit risky. I'm not going to cover it up yet, because we're still getting warm days, but as soon as we get a chance of a frost, then that's what I'm going to do, and I'll show you it when I do it. And the plan is, the bag itself has got some holes in it, because actually it's one I used a couple of years ago, so it's got a few tears, a few holes. And what I also do is make sure that there's a gap at the bottom, so air can circulate under. And I've done that on several other plants, and that's worked a treat. It's just enough to, it does warm up a little bit during the day, and that just protects it from the worst of the wind and frosts. So that's the plan for that one. So literally just a frame with a clear plastic bag over it. So that's the plan with that. And I have got some backup ones if the worst happens and it does die. I've got a few in the greenhouse potted, so it's not the end of the world. Right, I think I'm going to leave it there, and thanks for watching.
I will tip you off. I've done a video on it a couple of weeks ago about the indoor grow tent. I've been having it up and running for the last couple of weeks because I want to see what sort of price that has come on, sort of electric wise, what it's going to cost to run. So we'll probably do a video on that later, whether it be today or sometime during the week. So that'll be an indoor look at the grow tent to see how much it's going to cost to run and see how the plants have settled in. Alright, so look out for that one. Thanks for watching.